Hi guys, I'm Rachel, and I'm going to talk to you about an article I found called "Doctors Explore Lifting Barriers to Living Organ Donation." I found it on the Fox News health section, and basically, this article talks about a young woman. Her name's Tara Gouge, who had a rare form of cancer, and she required a liver transplant for survival. The surgeons caring for her denied her getting a transplant at their facility, despite the fact that she actually had a friend who was ready and willing to donate. The article states several reasons that hospital policies often deny patients of living organ donation, and the bioethical dilemmas that this type of donation presents. First, it's often believed that most procedures are too risky for the living donor and therefore unethical because the donor would not receive any health benefits. Second, the article poses the question of whether risky surgery should be allowed on a healthy donor when the predicted survival rate for the recipient is low. Third, the article brings up the economic hurdles associated with living donation for the donor since they need time for recovery but are not eligible for paid leave. So, two bioethical principles being violated that I talked about were the principles of autonomy and non maleficence. First, autonomy is not being upheld if living donation is forbidden because autonomy means that individuals have the right to self govern their bodies, which is a principle that should pertain to donors and recipients alike. Second, the principle of non maleficence means that healthcare providers should do no harm. However, in living donation, harm would be imposed on the donor because they're getting a surgery that they don't really need, there's no medical benefit to them. The Code of Ethics for Nursing that we read this week in Provision 2 states that a nurse's loyalty and commitment should primarily be to their patient above all else. So when looking at this article through a Provision 2 lens, the nurse should theoretically advocate for their patient to receive the liver of the living donor despite the potential hazards to the donor. Provision 2 also talks about the complications that nurses face in regards to patient versus employer loyalty. So if a hospital policy forbids donation from a living donor to a particular patient, then a conflict of interest would arise because the nurse wouldn't know whether to advocate to uphold the hospital policy or to advocate for their patient to receive donation. So lastly, the importance and implications to healthcare of this article. The issue of living donation is of great importance to the healthcare profession because it poses a lot of ethical dilemmas, first of all, but it also has the potential to save many lives. This issue is important to me on a personal level because I work and is strongly involved in my organ donation committee at my hospital. So I've gotten and I also work in critical care, and we do a lot of stuff with organ donation. So I've seen many patients suffer through this process and wait for years to receive, life-saving donation. I've also seen many patients die while they're waiting. So if we as a healthcare community could find alternatives to the current donation system, such as approving living donation in more cases, I think many lives could potentially be saved. But we'd have to, filter through those ethical dilemmas. So that's it. That's my article. You can find the link to the article on my Word document. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.